Hey guys, it's Kelly Slimp, licensed and certified speech-language pathologist, making at-home tips, tricks, strategies, and technique videos for you, parents and caregivers, to work with your little one at home on a variety of skills. So really quickly, I keep getting questions and comments about the necklace that I wear. And so this is just a gold-plated necklace. I received it as a gift. It's from Meadow and the Lark, and it has my daughter's name hand-stamped on it. So these are great for gifts, but so many of you have asked, so I will put the link to the website in the bottom. And again, they're custom made, so you have to shoot them an email and let them know what you want and what you would want on the necklace. Okay, so moving on today, I want to talk to you about compliance. And so compliance is different from behavior. So if you have a child that's exhibiting negative behaviors or tantrums, run back and watch my other video on behaviors. Today, I want to talk to you about how to get your child to interact with you, how to get them to do what you want them to do. And I also have a couple of tips and tricks for clinicians at the end. So really quickly, 3 different ways to get your child to do what you want them to do. And this can be used for a variety of skills, speech and language. So number 1, make it fun. Stop giving them commands. Stop asking them to do stuff. Stop telling them to do stuff. They are 2 and 3 and 4, and they don't want to do what we want them to do. So a lot of times I'll use the opposite effect. If I need a child to stick their tongue out, I'll say, oh, do not stick your tongue out. Oh, did you stick your tongue out? Do not. And so that's if I'm checking like their oral motor mechanisms. Or if I want them to clean up the laundry, I'll say, oh, I'm going to play basketball with your shirt. And I'll start picking up their shirts and model, boom, 3 points. Sometimes I'll slam dunk. And then they're correlating a positive experience and a positive activity with something that they didn't want to do. And also you didn't have to yell at them 50 times to pick up their clothes. So now it's just a fun game that they like to play. So that's trick number 1, is to make it fun. All right, tip number 2 is play dumb. So a lot of times I'll offer choices for my kiddos. I'll be like, oh, did you want an apple or tomato? Even if I know that they don't want a tomato. Or I'll give them a choice of like a bath time. So do you want to take a bath in 5 minutes or right now? And if whichever one they choose. So then they think that they get power, and power makes kids feel like important and like they get to choose. And then whenever you have power, whenever kids feel like they have power, they're more willing to do whatever it is that they've chosen to do. But here's the trick. You told them what the 2 options were, so really you're in control. That's why I love options and choices. Okay, so that's tip number 2. So tip number 3 is we want to raise motivation. So your kid's not doing anything because it's not fun enough. So you're not going to work for free, and neither are they, Mom. So what we have to do is figure out what is it that your child likes. Use their favorite thing in the entire world. I love food to work with kiddos because kids are motivated by food. A lot of kids are. If your child is not, don't use food. So if you have like a cookie or a Skittle, and the other thing you need to keep in mind is a reinforcement schedule. So you need to have a variety of reinforcements. So maybe they're not hungry right now, but maybe they would go for 3 minutes of iPad time. And then it's important that you use a timer with that. So it's not just like, okay, you're done. Then it feels like you're taking something away from them versus you earning something. One more tip about that is just came to my mind. That's a big, big one. So if this is the bubbles that the child is trying to earn, and I'm trying to get them to say bubble, and I'll just say bubble, bubble, and then the only prompt I'll give is you do. Here's the thing. If the child wants to hold the bubbles, they can hold the bubbles after they're compliant with what it is that I have asked them to do. So it's important that you do not give up. And it's important, number 2, that we don't go into this back and forth struggle of letting the child touch it. Once the child touches it, even if they accidentally touch my bubbles, it is their bubbles and I let them have it. Why? Because most of the time they've earned it. So they've done what I've asked, and then here it is. They're earning something versus this back and forth struggle of I wanted the bubbles. Okay, do this. It's already in their hand. And now if you take it away, you're taking something away from them versus them earning it. And so that is a couple of tips and tricks for parents. I also had a couple of questions from clinicians of how to get kids to do things in the clinic. So you're already strapped for time. You got 30 minutes with that child. That includes mom dropping them off and picking them up and the wrap up. So used to work in the clinic, totally familiar with this. Number 1, you are the keeper of all great fun things. So these are things that they don't have access to. What game will that child work for? Another great strategy is if they don't have anything, if you're like my child, if they don't like any of the games, then set a timer. So again, Children's Countdown, it's a duck on the App Store. Fantastic timer. It starts at 10 seconds, goes all the way to an hour. I love to set that for reinforcing. And then the clock blows up, and then the child knows that their turn is over. And so that's a great way that you can get them to work for things. If you're like, I don't have any games that they want to work for, I have asked parents to bring in, I said, Mom, stop at McDonald's and grab some French fries and bring those bad boys in here. And then we do French fry. Ask mom, she knows what their child likes. So again, reinforcement schedule. Do a little, get a little, do a lot, get a lot. Like that's how it works. If I'm having to prompt 50 times for your child to do something, they're gonna get one Skittle. But if they walk up to me and say, can I have Skittles? You can have all the Skittles, right? Because that required no prompting. So do a little, get a little, and do a lot, get a lot. And then also, if you don't know what you have in your office that your child will work for, then really just ask the parent, like, what will they work for? Another thing is first, then, and start with this basic. First high five, good job, now cookie. First high five, then cookie. First high five, then cookie. Get them in that routine of first do what I said, then you get something that you want. So first, then, another great reinforcing strategy for getting a child to work with you. So again, high fives are super fun, right? But then it might be first R sound, then cookie, or first say your sentence, then 30 seconds of dancing, whatever it is that the child wants to work for. A McDonald's French fry, I don't care. I just let the child lead, and I just make it fun, stop giving commands, give them choices, and then also raise the reinforcement schedule so that they're willing to work. So those are 3 different ways for both parents and clinicians of how to get kids to work with you. Thanks for watching.